Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rounding the Bases podcast. I'm Coach Coons, along with Coach Porter, uh, on this beautiful, beautiful here in Alabama today, Monday the 13th, and we have another guest on tonight. Coach Porter, would you like to introduce Coach Rouse?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Coach Rouse for being here tonight. Secondly, someone that, Coach Addison Rouse, head baseball coach at St. Xavier University, right outside of Chicago or in Chicagoland, but someone's very, very near and dear to my heart, played for me in '06 and '07 at Ohio Valley University. Has played at the NAI, the D2 level. Someone's got a really extensive resume. He's coached at the D3 level, the D2 level, the NAI level, which he's currently at now, and has had tremendous success. He turned around a Salem University program. Very, very remarkably and very quickly. And the things that he did at Salem University are still there today. They're still thriving today. He's been in a national tournament at St. Xavier University. Was a GA at Henderson State. Assistant you were at Brescia as well, right? As an
Yep.
assistant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And got his first head coaching job at Eastern Nazarene in Boston. So, without further ado, Coach Addison Rouse, thanks for joining us. How's everything in Chicagoland?
Well, I appreciate you guys for having me. I'm humbled by your kind words, Coach. I hope that people can understand, even through a stream, how much you mean to me and how much you've meant to my career. There's absolutely zero chance I would be on this platform if it wasn't for Coach Porter. So I say that with a ton of conviction. It's cold here. We just finished practice inside, so we're cranked up and rolling. I love the NAI level. I have a lot of freedom, and we're rolling. So it's cold, but hey, opening day is around the corner. I'm excited to be here. Humbled, love sharing, and giving back, and then offering any advice I possibly can. So thanks for having me, guys.
Good deal. Well,
I was going to say, we're glad you're here. You haven't even left your office, for God's sakes.
No, I've been here all day. I work out in the morning, Tom. I was here at 5:30 in the gym. I think Coach Porter instilled that in me, and I've been here all day. So
there you go.
We're rolling.
Good deal. Well, we'll kind of lead off here. Tell us a little bit about your college career and leading into your college coaching career and some of the stops you've had.
Yeah, so obviously, got a chance to play for you at Ohio Valley University. I like to preface with the fact that I think for 2 weeks I told my dad I was quitting and transferring, and that it wasn't for me. Coach was too hard. I missed home, which I've never been home. I haven't been home since. But I think if you're trying to reach out to this broad audience, the first few weeks are hard. You don't know anybody, and college it's much different. And so I did not want to be there. And then after 2 weeks, I settled. I think I had a good inner squad. All it took was, I got a butt down and got a couple hits, and I was home. And so, I had a great experience. I learned how to be a man. We had tremendous success there at Ohio Valley. And then, I went to school for a coach, which I don't regret whatsoever. But you also have to make sure they have your degree. And Ohio Valley did not have what I wanted to study at all. And so I made a hard decision to, transfer for a chance to pursue some educational things. And I went to Brescia University, which is an NAI in Owensboro, Kentucky. And I was lucky enough to have even more success. And so I like to say I started my career with the conference championship and a national tournament, and I got to end my career with the national tournament and a conference championship. So I was very blessed as a player, and then started this journey. And I think obviously this is a recruiting podcast and deal, but my journey took me everywhere. And so when I was willing to do this, and whether this is as a player or a coach, I said, I'm going to step down this rabbit hole. I'm going to, trust in God. I'm going to go wherever opportunities take me. And so I spent 4 summers in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. I was a GA in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, Henderson State. Then I went back to Brescia, was there for a year in Owensboro, Kentucky. Then was in Boston for 3 years. And then I got a call from Coach Porter about a job in Salem, West Virginia. And I spoke to another colleague and mentor, and he told me that it was either going to be the best thing I ever did or career suicide. And I basically said, where do I sign up? And so I packed a U-Haul up with my lovely mother and drove 10 hours to Salem, West Virginia, and started that journey. And was there for 3 years plus COVID, so 3.5 years. And then I felt like it was time to, take another leap. And after finishing notoriously second place for a lot of jobs, I was really good at being runner-up with alums or former assistants getting the job over me, which is okay. This happened to come out of left field. And after multiple Zoom sessions and interviews, I packed up my things and moved a family from small town West Virginia to the south side of Chicago. And we've been here for 4 years now. So it's been a wonderful journey, many people, many places, obviously relationships that mean everything to me. And I've been very blessed to be at some pretty awesome stops and to be where I'm at now. So
Very good.
yes, sir.
Sounds well-traveled, Coach.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of, the sheer amount of experience at all levels. And medicine hat, you right? It was an American Legion.
Yep. Legion.
Okay, American, yeah. To NAI, the D3 level, the D2 level, just great, great experiences. And so that's awesome. So, tell me a little bit about your recruiting philosophy. Given all of your experiences, and even you played a high level of high school baseball and travel baseball. You were very well coached. I mean, your experiences have been awesome. Tell me a little bit about your just overall recruiting philosophy, and then maybe hit a little bit on what it was at the D3, D2, NAI, any type of differences.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that I learned from a philosophy standpoint is, we have really, especially here, I have really decided to go against the grain. So, we're in a world right now where it's transfer portal. If I go on Twitter, my algorithm, all it is recruits. We have such a platform with, all the services, social media, the portal, et cetera, et cetera. And what we have tried to do, and this is my philosophy, is I've tried to go against the grain. I love my program here at St. Xavier. I've been at some awesome places, but I have realized the core of my philosophy is I don't know if I'm going to get the same kid that Georgia Gwinnett's going to get, or Tampa's going to get, or Marietta's going to get, whatever, from all the levels I've been. So we have dove headfirst into recruiting 4-year players. We develop kids, we recruit high school kids, we believe in the high school kid. We have gone 4 straight years in the Chicagoland Conference of producing a freshman of the year. So we are going to recruit you, and if you are prepared and ready, we're going to throw you in the fire. We are not afraid to play young kids. And so, yes, I reply to emails. Yes, I go on Twitter. Yes, I use the services. But our core of our philosophy is to get out. Get out in the summer. We go to Grand Park, which is a facility in the Midwest. We go to Wisconsin. We go to Iowa. We go to Cincinnati, Michigan. It's all regional. It's all drivable. We go and see AAU, travel, whatever you want to do. We go and see kids play. And that is the core of our recruiting, is we want to see you play. We want to evaluate you in person. And we know we want to recruit the 4-year kids. So we're going and we're looking for dudes that can play. The next layer to that is, I think, you talk about levels. I was in Boston. And so Boston is an area where that's where I learned to recruit. So I would put all my chips in a hat that there is no other area in the country that works harder than New England baseball coaches at recruiting. You go to these places, it's unbelievable.
No doubt about it.
It's incredible, Tom. You go to this place, it's called New England NEB. Essentially, it's the perfect game of the Northeast. And you get there at 8 a.m., and there's 40 to 50 coaches at the 8 a.m. game, and 30 of them are D3 schools. And there's baby Ivy Leagues, and there's state schools, and it is a dog eat dog. Who's going to outwork you? Who's going to work harder? Who's going to grind the most? Be there, all day. And so, being there taught me that you got to work and you got to set up visits, you got to build relationships, you got to connect with the high school, with the high school coach, the summer ball coach. You got to be strategic in your efforts. You can't just show up to a field in New England and hope you find kids. You have to have a plan. And so I've evolved. Like it taught me how to recruit. And then I went to the D2 level, and so I knew how to recruit, but now I had to identify and find a player that could play at that level. And so, we were in West Virginia. That region is the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference region. And you go play against the Mercyhurstes and the Westchesters and the Seton Hills, you better have players. And so I say all this to get to make my point is that we're looking for the best player possible. I don't get caught up in your PBR ranking or your status. Like, I know what plays. If you want to win at our level, you need to have pitch ability, you need to throw hard, run fast, have exit velo. Like, it all matters. Like, it's not just, hey, we want this specific player. Like, if you want to build a program that can win at a national level, you need to have guys that throw hard, throw strikes, and compete, guys that run fast, handle the bat, and hit for power. Like, you need to have guys that can play defense, track the ball down. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's the D3 level or D1 level or D2 level or NAI level. You need good players and guys that can win and help you elevate your program. It doesn't matter the status. So when you ask, what are you looking for? The best available player. The best talent I can find is what we're trying to build our program with. And obviously the right fit, but from a baseball standpoint, I want the intangibles, I want the metrics, and then I want to go watch you and make sure that you're a ball player and that you're a winner. And that's how we're going to do it.
I think you make a good point too, especially on the Northeast recruiting, the Boston area. I've been there, done that. It's the kids there in schools compared to where I am now in the South. Down here in the South, you're going to go Division I, or you're going to go to JUCO.
Yep.
There you had 1s, 2s, 3s, NAIAs, JUCO. There was such a smorgasbord of schools all going after that same kid. If you can recruit that area and find your players, it's a huge thing. But we were talking, Coach Porter and I, the other day. What about, you mentioned the skills of these players you're looking at. What about character and attitude and things like that? Do you, like, where does that come into play on your recruit list?
Yes, sir. Well, great question, Tom. I think, one of the things that and this is one of my core beliefs, is I say it all the time: winners win, and good people can help create a good culture. Like, you can't win with bad people. You could talk about your culture. We could talk about our values, our DNA of what we do. But if we don't have good people that are bought into what we're doing, we're not going to be successful in that culture. If we want to win, we need winners. And so, like, I believe in getting kids on our campus. We set up, and I know a lot of people do this, but we probably have 100 kids visit campus a year.
Oh, sure.
It is constant because I need to meet you. I want to be in front of you. I want to see how you interact with your parent, how you shake my hand, how you sit, your body language. Like, I am very adamant that good people are going to be a good fit within our program, because that's what matters. And so I want to make sure that you're a good person, that you are a person of high character. And then when I watch you play, I want winners. I want competitive kids. I want guys that still want to, wear a pitch and run hard and, play gritty. And, like, I want to, we say we're from the South Side of Chicago. I want tough kids.
Right.
We play baseball in the winter. We're going to play January 31st. I want dudes that are tough. And you're gonna laugh at me. We tell people all the time we want whiskey drinkers, not milk drinkers.
That's great, actually.
Yeah, we want whiskey drinkers, not milk, not milk drinkers. We want tough kids, and we talk about it all the time. Like, we're very competitive in our program. There's a winner and loser every day, and, like, you can't be afraid of that camaraderie and that environment. So
there's always lessons, no matter whether you win or lose. It's a lesson.
Absolutely.
So
we ask those questions. We ask about. We're very open. We're very transparent. Like, are you prepared to work really hard? Are you prepared to? We outline some things, and make sure that you're getting yes sir, and that they understand what they're getting into. I've learned that really, really helps with building your culture and getting the right people here.
Right.
It's,
How about, I was going
it's
to say,
golden.
oh, I think it's great. I mean, that's the message we try to tell our clients and stuff too. It's well-rounded. It's the character. I know when I recruited, I wanted to know about your family. I wanted to know about this. I wanted to know, your birthday. Hey, it's coming up. We had all that down. You're part of our family at that point,
Absolutely.
When in recruiting, I always felt, and if I could, I took every single kid around with me, and not admissions or yeah. I mean, if I could and time permitted, I did that, and that was to get to know them. And sometimes that's impossible to do, but I always felt that connection with the kid.
Right.
When you take them around one-on-one, when you spend a day with them. And I always felt like when maybe an assistant would be out on the road recruiting, and you guys, can you hear me okay? I know we had
Yes, yeah, I got you.
Okay. When, I always felt like, if the assistants were out on the road or something and I was on campus, I always felt like we had great visits, one-on-one, getting to know them. Because look, the recruit's the consumer, but you're selling. You're trying to build that trust. You're trying to see if that kid's a fit. From 200 feet in the stands, when you're watching, you see a lot of different things. When you're on the phone, you get to know a kid, how they're addressing you, how they answer the phone, how they're even texting you. Seriously, how they're texting you. Are they texting you like they're typing somebody a message on their email? Or are they just lowercase letters and that stuff? But when you really sit down and you spend several hours with somebody and you're with their parents, you really leave that going, this kid's going to be a really good fit here, or they're not. Because here's the deal: when they get to campus, before they get to campus, you've got a lot of boxes checked off on the ability level, the academic level, conversations you've had with other people. But really, at the end, it's going to jive with what we're about. And I love the fact you want to get in front of every single kid. Because look, we've talked about this before on here. Coaches, we can sometimes get in patterns. Looking back, you're like, I don't know if that was a good pattern to be in, and you take some chances. We've all signed kids sight unseen, or they haven't been on campus, and every single coach most coaches are guilty of that. I certainly was. You get in a situation, a big transfer, and it's getting late in the summer, and you got a little bit of money left, and you're trying to get them or whatever. Roll the dice. Sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose. And so, with that being said, I think that's all great stuff, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you don't realize. I mean, you're a full-time coach. You're also full-time admissions too, because the amount of people you're seeing. Admissions loves you, especially when you bring all these people on campus and they can get a look too.
Absolutely.
So it works out well. Now, let's jump ahead a little bit.
Yes.
Transfer portal, all this other stuff going on. How do you sell to keep kids there, or do you not have to worry about that at your college? I mean, you sound like you are looking for the kid that fits your mold, but do you ever come across the one kid that says, "Hey, I think I can go better," and wander off? Or how do you handle that now in the age of coaching?
Yeah. So interesting you say that. So you talk about the transfer portal. I am proud to tell you I have never logged on one time since I've been at St. Xavier. So that is not now listen, we have transfers and they're good and they're talented and they're going to play a lot of games for us. But they've all come from either the junior college level or a direct connection.
Okay.
I have not gone down that rabbit hole. Too many fish, too many baits. I don't need to get involved there. That's just my now listen, at some point I may have to, but until it is broken, I am not going down that rabbit hole. But to answer your question, we have had 2 kids leave St. Xavier and they are both playing at the Division I level. So I'll be honest with you, and this is maybe against the grain, that's fine. As long as you communicate with me, as long as we know
Right.
like, that going into this, that's a possibility. I am completely comfortable if we have a player that comes in and we develop him as a man, as a player, and he's got a shot to go play for the alumni. Like, I'm going to walk you to Champaign, bud. Like, if you have now, I don't want to lose that kid. That's gonna suck. That we just lost our number one armor, our 3-hole hitter, because he's going to go play in Illinois. But if that is in the dialogue and we are open and honest, I am never going to stop a kid from pursuing certain dreams if those doors and avenues could come open. But Tom, and I'm being really, this is all about our program. I don't want to come across arrogant, but we haven't lost those kids. Those guys have stayed here. We've had 4 pros in the last 4 years that are playing independent ball, and they're good. They are all Division I type players, and they have stayed. And I think that's a testament to our culture.
Oh, no question.
To our camaraderie. It's a unique place, and you talk about the family atmosphere, and my wife, my daughter, my kids around. Like, it's all inclusive, and I think we create an environment where kids, they can be themselves and they want to stay and be a part of that. And so we've been very lucky that we've lost a couple, but for the most part, that kid has stayed and has had a really good experience.
See, and that's a good message too, because people, NAIA sometimes gets a bad rap. Other Division II or Division, it's always, you see the Division I's because they're on TV all the time. They're on ESPN, but it's a testament to how you're running your program that you've got Division I kids that you're going after, sitting there and are happy to be that big fish in the smaller pond and be successful.
They're doing great, and those guys have had great careers here. That's why I made the plug about the 4 straight freshman of the year. We're not afraid to play you. If you're ready, let's go. We're going to throw you in the mix, and we're not afraid of that. And it's a recruiting pitch, because now these kids come in. Listen, you're probably our best player right now, talent wise, had 7 Division I offers, but guess what? He's a shortstop too. I said, come to St. Xavier, you do both.
Right.
You can do both. I'm not going to take that out of your head. Our best player at Ohio Valley was our shortstap. He was also our best pitcher.
I would run into coaches all the time on the road. You're not two-way guys. I'm like, that's glad to hear, because I'm going to take them.
Well, that's where I learned it. Our center fielder was a 2-way guy. Our shortstop was the best player in the region. He played shortstop for 3 games, and then would pitch game 4. We'd win every game 4 when I was at Ohio Valley. And I do the same thing here. We have a shortstop that's going to play 3 games.
Yep.
He'll pitch on the getaway day. And so that was our chance to get a 90 arm. He had mid-major, said, just pitch. I said, come do both. And now he's hit 10 home runs last year, and he's going to be in our rotation. It's great.
A lot of those guys are so athletic. They can swing it.
Awesome.
And absolutely.
Just moving your club out.
Yeah. Now, 2 things for you, all right?
Yeah.
So the first thing is, just give us a quick couple blurbs on what you're looking for. What are the top 2 things you're looking for out of a defender, out of a hitter, and out of a pitcher?
Okay, defender. I will go. So from the infield, I will go your actions. So like, we want guys that are athletic, that move well. So I don't care how hard you throw it across the diamond. I just want you to move well and have really good action. So it's touch and release to me. How quick can you field it, get rid of it, and get it to first base? So from an infield standpoint, it's all about the actions and the way you move. Outfield is going to be, it's going to be about speed and first movement. So I want guys that can go and track it down and can run, and I want guys that can get good jumps and look natural catching the baseball. We've all been there with guys look uncomfortable. I want you to be natural and can run well. On the mound, I'm gonna be very blunt, which is kind of the norm, but you need to throw hard and you need to throw strikes. You cannot win at the NAIA national level if you do not throw hard and cannot command the zone. Like, I know everybody wants velo, and not everybody is familiar, Tom, with our level. If you want to get to Lewis and Idaho and play in a World Series, you better not have an arm. You better have arms that are upper 80s into the 9s that can pitch. And that's hard to find. So it's a fun challenge, but you need to be firm and you need the cap, and you need to control it. And so when I'm out recruiting, we're looking for some pitchability and guys that can run it up a little bit. Hopefully can spin it too, but definitely pitchability and throw hard. Infield actions, and guys that move well, and then outfitters that can track it down and that look natural fielding the baseball.
Beautiful. So what are a couple of things you're looking for in a hitter?
Hitting wise, we don't ever talk about mechanics. Very rarely do we talk mechanics here. It's a lot of approach for us. So, if I'm evaluating a hitter, I want a guy that has good bat to ball skills. So somebody that can handle the bat, can maybe move the ball a little bit, can get to some pitches that are hard. And then, again, to be blunt, I want some guys that the ball comes off the bat pretty firmly. We want some exit velocity. We want guys that can, hey, I'm going to get the barrel out and it's going to come off and it's going to come off fast. And I feel like if a guy has good bat to ball skills and can really, really swing it, man, you're looking at a guy that can hit. And if he does have some swing deficiencies, we can correct those pretty quickly because naturally they have good bat to ball skills and the ball is really jumping off their bat, which I think can play at any level.
Good. And lastly, tell us a little bit about St. Xavier.
Oh, all right, I love this. So we are the very, very southwest pocket of Chicago. So if you step across the street, you're in a town called Oak Lawn, Illinois. So we're still Chicago residents, which is awesome. Our area Chicago's a neighborhood area, Coach. So if you are in Chicago, you are in a neighborhood. So people usually identify Chicago, Navy Pier, Wrigleyville. I could go on a little bit. That's kind of how Chicago is identified. We are in Mount Greenwood, and that's our neighborhood. Mount Greenwood per capita is the most populated by Chicago firefighters, EMTs, first responders. It's a fortress. It's the safest area I've ever been. It's a huge city with a small community. We have rich alumni. So I'll name plug Luke Gregerson, who pitched for the Cardinals, Mike Rizzo, who's the GM of the Nationals, among others. So it's rich alumni. It's a very, very small, tight-knit community. We're in a neighborhood that is safe, welcoming. Everybody always makes fun of me because I say this every time. If you walk on our campus in the summer, you'll see dogs, bikes, strollers, kids. So it's very, very enriched within our area. It's a great business school. It's a very good degree. It's just a wonderful place. Everybody's successful. So football has won a national championship. Our basketball is good. It's one of those areas where, winning breeds winning, and everybody in our department's successful. We have great facilities, great resources, and it's just a special place that, as I like to say, the ceiling is what we make it. And so, I've been at some places that are wonderful, but the ceiling is you're reaching it. And I think here it's what we decided to be. And so it's a special place that I think can compete at a high level, and you can be a name and not a number and get a really good degree and have a great experience.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Coons, awesome. Can you tell our wonderful listeners how we can help them find awesome places like St. Xavier, awesome coaches like Coach Rouse?
Well, that's what we're out here trying. It's our clients and Coach. We do both baseball and softball. So, it's a fun thing, especially for old. Well, I'm old. Coach Porter's just looks old, with no hair there. But
it's been that way since I played.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Coaching does it. Coaching does it. But we're out here, and you've seen our program or our website anyway. But you can see we're doing a lot of the same things that all these other recruiting companies do, but we're not taking. Our costs are minimal because we're of that attitude like yours is. We want to help kids be successful so that they're with a coach like you for 4 years and continue to thrive. And you're either going to move on to the next level or you're going to have a great job when you get done. And that's our whole preface. And Coach Porter, you can jump in anytime, but that's why we started in this business. There's a lot of companies out there that are big bucks, and they never mention that part of it till they get the pitch to you. We don't. We're a very low pressure organization. We do free evaluations before we even talk to see if you want to work with us. And then our costs that we deal with are, I don't know, a third, a fifth of what everybody, what a lot of them are there is, because we enjoy what we do. And I think, our passion with our company came from our coaching, just like your passion with your coaching. If you are passionate about it, you're going to help kids to succeed, because that's your gratification that you get. So that's what we're all about at Head and Account Recruiting. It's we want to take clients and put them in communication with coaches like yourself, who want to take them and not, you want to win games, you want to do this, but you also want to make them successful. You want to, there's life after baseball. There's life after this. We've all got it, and that's our ultimate goal. Coach Porter, go ahead. What else?
So number one, you hit the nail on the head. That was great. Number two, help you navigate the murky waters of college recruiting. We're going to help you find a great fit like Coach Rouse, St. Xavier. And third, my message is anybody Coach Rouse is recruiting, go to St. Xavier. Go win, go play for a winner, play in a great program, right? Ball games. I always tell people this. People are like, well, I don't know what am I looking for? I'm a girl dad. My daughter's got an opportunity maybe in a year or so to go play sport in college, and I just look at her all the time. I'm like, go where you're wanted, go where they're going to develop you, go where you're going to get a degree, and go where you're going to win. You're going to check those boxes off at a program like this, right? You're going to win, right? You're going to learn to be a man. You're going to get a great baseball education, right? And a great education,
And
right?
and that's where we come in, because Coach
Helping you.
Rouse just said he goes and sees everybody. We can help with not only Coach Rouse but other coaches. Recruiting is hard, no doubt about it. Recruiting.
It is. Let me plug you too. Listen, we and the guys that do it right, we look at everything. So when you send me a message, say I got 4 kids for you, I am going to pull every one of them up and look at it. And the ones that do it right are going to do the same thing. And that's the majority of, and not everybody, but the majority of the business, if they're working with credible people, are going to read the email, pull the profile, and we're going to really take a look and evaluate it. Doesn't take but a minute to do.
Exactly, and that's what we do too. And it's not only hard for you, Coach, but it's also hard for the parents on the other end. It's hard for the high school coach, because they're a full-time teacher 9 times out of 10. Yep. So they've got other things to do, lesson plans and grades and this and this and this. And then when they go home, they want to be with their family, maybe not making all those coaching calls that we're making to people like yourself. And that's why, it's a no-brainer. It's for what we can do to help out. And Coach Porter, we've been pretty good so far. So
it's awesome.
But you also get to work with people like Coach Rouse, so that's a huge plus for us too.
Absolutely.
Anything in closing, guys?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And I hope I was able to provide some insight to all your listeners.
This was great. Thanks for getting on here.
My pleasure.
And I'm going to be following you and talking to you.
I hope so.
And all that good stuff. So this is awesome.
Well, we'll see everybody next week. Coach Rouse, thank you for being on. Next Monday, we'll have another guest. And Coach, you're welcome to come back anytime you want.
Anytime. I'm more. You tell Coach to message me. I'll jump on at any point. You need someone else to
we'll
be on.
We'll get you during the 3rd inning of your opening game.
Yeah, there you go. Live.
I'll have to be my best behavior for that one.
That's right. That's right. Well, we'll see you folks next Monday. Tune in for Rounding the Bases podcast. And don't forget, headandaccountrecruiting.com. Go on there, check us out. Questionnaire for a free evaluation. Till next week, we'll see you.